Hi, my name's Jeff Linville. I'm one of the creators of Fretless. I mostly do sound design and music, and then design, level design and things like that. I wanted to talk about kind of what Fretless is and what our thoughts were when we were making it, and some of the things we find really cool about it. So Fretless is a RPG that is music themed. We like to call it a guitar RPG. You play as a character named Rob, and you collect different instruments throughout the game. Right now I have a little acoustic guitar, and then in combat you play the instrument to deal damage and all that stuff. And each ability that you have in turn-based combat has its own sound sample associated with it. So you'll see that in a bit. I'm going to go do combat. And then in the world, everything in the world is music themed as well. So if I run through these little bellflowers, they make little sounds that are in key with the music. And then, these frogs are singing and stuff like that. So there's music just everywhere. So you can hear little bells. So we have things like this all throughout the game. But I'll go do some combat right now. We turn back on the UI, and we can see how that works. So the first enemies I'm going to fight are called percussions. They're little mushrooms that have idiopans or handpans as the mushroom cap. So all the enemies in the game, and like I said, everything is very music themed. This is right at the beginning of the game, kind of part of the tutorial sequence. So. Okay, so this is combat. Let me skip this little tutorial. This is combat. You can hear this backing track going on. This is for the acoustic guitar, each instrument of which we have 4. We have an 8-string synthesizer, the acoustic, and then a bass guitar. They each have their own unique backing track and their own unique riffs. And all the riffs here have their own sound associated with them, and they do different things. It's a deck building game, so you can make different decks that have completely different sounds. And the enemies here also have their own sound effects, or musical sound effects, that play when they take their turn. So I'll just take a turn here. I'll use a few abilities. You play 3 riffs, and then you hit shred, and then these riffs will play out, and they'll all be seamless with the backing track. So one of the goals of the game was to make it sound like you're playing music in combat. That's like a core pillar of what we're doing here. So I'll hit shred, and you'll hear these abilities play out, and then I get the opportunity as the player to do QTE inputs on the beat, and a little sound will play on the beat as well. Everything's on the beat. So I'll hit shred. So that's my turn. The enemies are going to go, and I can block them as well. I didn't block there just so you could hear what it sounds like. So yeah, let's keep using a few more abilities. And then later in this video, I'm going to fight a boss, and you can see many more riffs that I have. Like I said, this is like right at the beginning of the tutorial. Gonna be a lot more riffs and kind of some crazy sounds. So yeah, let's do it. So I just blocked his attack there. Let's do this. And I'm not really talking about the strategy of what I'm doing yet. It's a little early in the game for that, but just wanted to highlight the music. And the theme of the acoustic, like the backing track, is like Midwest emo. That's just something I grew up with, a genre of music that I just really wanted to. I hadn't really heard it in a game before, so I really wanted to showcase it. I'll just show one more feature really quick. And that's guitar modding. So you can mod your guitars just like a real musician who has a soldering iron would. You can mod your guitars with pickups and strings and all sorts of things like that. I'm just skipping the dialogue here because I gotta go quick. Again, this is part of the tutorial, so I can put this pickup on, and you'll actually see it appear in the game, which is really cool. So once you get strings and things like that, I don't have a debug menu, but once you get strings and things like that, your guitar will look like totally different, and that works for all the instruments. So I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna skip ahead to a boss fight, and we can see what that looks like. Okay, skipping ahead a bit, we're kind of at the final boss of this area. Let's grab this chest. So I just got a new mod, a little potion there. And then, yeah, you find mods out in the world, and you can put them on your instruments. And also in the game, there is pedals. So as a musician, guitarist, you collect pedals. And then in our game, they have different combat bonuses. So you can put them on, and you can kind of customize your own pedal board based on like your play style, your build. And I've made a build already just to go quickly here. So we'll fight this boss. Let's see what that looks like. In this track here, there's many guest artists in the game that made music for this project. One of which is Northlane. They made a song called Welcome to the Industry, and it's kind of spread. It's the theme song of the bad guys, SMR. Super Metal Records. They want to take over all the music. They're not very nice. So this is SMR Larry. He's got a big Buster keytar. Okay, you'll notice the music is very different. This is as every boss in the game has their own backing track. So like I wrote a lot of metal for the bosses because Super Metal Records, right? So let's do some attacks on Larry, and we can see what he does to me. I'll use some new attacks that we haven't seen yet. So I just blocked his attack there. This boss kind of is meant to teach you, or is like your final test of the QTE blocking system. Okay, so I'm gonna use a little combo here. This riff allows me to damage based on my shield. So let's just do that. I'm gonna give myself some shield. This is just kind of like the strategy in the game. So if you hit this QTE, you're gonna do a lot of damage. So I hit him. Alright, I'm running low on time, so I'm going to do one quick thing. The player gets a special ability called a crescendo. And you'll see it does an input sequence when I build this meter up. This meter gets built up by the inputs that I hit in combat. And it kind of brings you to a new screen where you have to do inputs. Oops. Woo. And he has one too. So he's going to use one in a turn here. I'm going to end my turn just so he can... And we'll see his crescendo, and that'll be the end of the video. Okay, here it is. He's going to use his crescendo, and I need to defend his attack. He might decimate me. We'll see. So yeah, all the crescendos and everything, it's all music, you know, it's all trying to be a song, and the acoustic has to fit with this metal theme, which is what's a challenge for sure. And that is fretless. Oh, that's the basics of fretless. Oh, there he goes. Thanks for watching.